Now listen closely, because this story begins at a wedding. And not just any wedding, but the kind that makes you wonder why on earth people subject themselves to itchy dresses, stiff smiles, and flowers that smell like a perfume factory exploded. Picture it, the first time they bumped into each other. She was holding a bouquet, already half wilted from the heat. He was standing tall, giving a bride away. And in that very moment, she felt his eyes on her. Oh, she felt it. That prickling awareness, that undeniable pull. And what did she do? She blushed, red as her peonies, but she kept it hidden behind a Mona Lisa smile, the kind that says, "I've been posing for this all morning, and my face muscles are about to mutiny." Inside, she was thinking, if I have to smile one more time, I'm going to lock myself in the hotel bathroom, raid the minibar, and frown at my own reflection until my face remembers what normal feels like. Now, everyone knows the rules. You don't flirt with the father of the bride, that's social suicide. You don't flirt with the uncle or the cousin twice removed or any branch of the family tree. But this man, he wasn't family. Not a drop of shared blood. He was, in fact, a stand-in, a substitute father. The bride, you see, was estranged from her kin, and so this man, whether co-worker, boss, or mechanic, no one really knew, had been drafted in to walk her down the aisle. And Wilma, well, she was there because of Barney the groom. And not in a wink-wink, ha-ha kind of way, but in a long history, what if, almost lovers, but not quite kind of way. Let me take you back. College days, a costume party. Everyone dressed as cartoon characters. She went as Wilma Flintstone, her namesake, of course. And he, Barney Rubble, naturally. And something about the absurdity of her being with Barney, when Wilma was meant for Fred, made the night electric. But they were drunk, too drunk. And that window of possibility closed before it ever opened. Still, chemistry doesn't just evaporate. No, it lingers, like smoke after a fire. And yet, instead of romance, what grew between them was friendship. Real, solid, show up at 2 a.m. with cardboard boxes friendship. The kind people love to argue can't possibly exist between a man and a woman. But Wilma and Barney proved the cynics wrong. When her relationship collapsed, he was there with a borrowed truck and arms strong enough to haul her life away in boxers. When she was crying in a bathroom stall over a two-night stand gone wrong, he crossed the forbidden line of the ladies' room just to pat her dry and remind her that life was bigger than one disappointment. Together, they were the kind of pair you'd see in commercials. Two people laughing on a park bench while a calm voice listed terrifying side effects of cholesterol medication. Effortless, comfortable. So when her best friend asked, "Why aren't you two dating?" she'd shrugged and say, "Because he's Barney." And somehow that answer was supposed to say everything. Fast forward, Barney falls in love. Betty enters the picture. Betty, with her perfect manners and her doilies and her love of gravy boats. Yes, gravy boats. Wilma had mocked the idea so much, she ended up buying one as a wedding gift, just for the irony of it. And now here she was, a bridesmaid, dressed in the color of a soggy paper bag. Oh yes, the others wore chocolate and taupe, rich, flattering tones, but Wilma, she got grocery store brown. Pure coincidence, or a pointed little dagger from the bride, who, perhaps, sensed too much history between her groom and this bridesmaid. Standing there in the stifling church, clutching her bouquet, Wilma began to realize something her mother had once said. "You love him." She had brushed it off at the time, but now, in that hot line of maids, she thought, maybe I do. Maybe I always have. The air was heavy, thick with gardenia, far too strong a flower for a wedding. Whoever advised the bride clearly hadn't considered the consequences of trapping people in a scent cloud for an hour. Wilma hadn't drunk enough water. On purpose. The thought of needing to dash to the restroom mid-ceremony terrified her, so she'd gone dry. Now her head was swimming. She watched a wasp batter itself against the stained glass window. Poor thing. It looked desperate to get out, the same way she was desperate to escape. And in her delirium, she thought, maybe that wasp is in love with Barney too. And then, it happened. Her knees buckled, she swayed, and down she went. But not all the way, because suddenly, strong arms caught her. The faux father, the stand-in, swept her off her feet, quite literally, and carried her out of that oven of a church. He placed her gently in the shade, fetched water, watched as she gulped it down without an ounce of grace, spilling half of it down the front of her paper bag dress. And when at last her breathing steadied, when the dizziness passed, he leaned against the tree beside her, calm and collected, and said, "I don't think we've been properly introduced. My name is Fred." And she smiled. Not the Mona Lisa grin, not the forced bridesmaid smile, but a genuine, from-the-heart smile. "Wilma," she said. And just like that, ladies and gentlemen, the story wasn't about Barney anymore.